Hello and welcome here in Dresden to the second Alaska Summit 2025. So I hope you had a good trip to Dresden, those who came from abroad or from some other German city or from complete Europe. So it's really nice to see that many people also came from far distant places. So we have visitors from Austria, from France, from the Netherlands, from Poland, and so on. So this is definitely something that has changed in comparison to the first Alaska Summit, where, we had a mainly German community. So we directly see that the word is spreading about Alaska. I would like to, welcome you in the name of the board. Maybe because there are also some new faces here. The board consists of Josephine, who just spoke already to you, Steffen Braus, he is over there, and me, Marius Feldmann. And I want to use the opportunity during the next moments to give you, some background information about Alaska, why we are here, why we are doing what we are doing, and also I want to give you some insights into the development during the last years. But before I start, I want to make sure that you are at the right event, at the right spot, because during the year we have heard about other Alaska summits, as you may have heard in media. And we in the meanwhile had somehow the feeling that we have to clearly state that this Alaska Summit is a little bit different than the other Alaska Summit that took place in August in, obviously Alaska. So we pointed out that there's a difference between this real Alaska Summit, at which you are currently, and this other Alaska Summit. And I just want to make clear if this is really the case, what we have pointed out here, and if you can, just check the characteristics and aspects that we have pointed out to be valid. So we said actually here that, we can't offer red carpet. I think you can confirm that. So I didn't see any red carpet so far. Armored limousines are also not given, but definitely we will clap and smile on your arrival. So, let's do this briefly, let's clap. So welcome here in Dresden. We are not behind closed doors. The door may be closed from time to time, and it would be nice also to do that, to close it, but you can always enter and leave again. So it's really an open community that we want to have here. Plus also, we want to talk about concrete things. We want to talk in a community on a height about technology, about concrete plans, about things we want to drive forward, and do not want to, just formulate general claims or, some high-level stuff, but really things that relate to technology and that relate to open source cloud infrastructures. That's our focus. With this I want to, briefly give you also some background about Alaska. In general, as mentioned, there are some new faces, so I guess that's definitely a good point to do. I think you know about the issue in general that is sketched on that slide, which is that there's a lot of potential behind cloud technology. And on the other hand, there are single actors on the market, single entities on the market, where there's a huge risk to depend on them and to lose control of setups on which you depend with whatever you do. If you are a university, if you are a company, if you are from the public authority or whatsoever. So there's a huge risk that we get dependent and that others can control in the end what we are doing and how we do things. This is something that we want to change. So our vision is digital sovereignty from Europe, for Europe, and maybe also beyond Europe. So let's see how far we can drive Alaska, but definitely it's a European initiative where we try to push forward digital sovereignty. I'm absolutely aware about, the difficulty nowadays to talk about digital sovereignty. So the term is used intensively. Now we could say, we use them as one of the first people at all. Maybe that's true, maybe not. The core point is that we have a clear definition behind digital sovereignty. So what do we understand when we use this term? And the best thing to describe this is to describe how Alaska works and what the core aspects of activities focus on. And on this slide you see three different aspects that we as Alaska want to drive forward. First of all, as you can see also, for example, in the back, with our projects that you see there. We want to focus on open source projects and want to materialize digital sovereignty in open source projects. So we do not just want to talk high level and in general about the topic, but we really want to talk about concrete open source projects, drive them forward, set up processes. Do not just see the technical side of open source projects, but also the community processes and all these things. So that's absolutely essential when we talk about digital sovereignty, that we talk about open source and not just about the source code itself, but about the people, about the community. Apart from this, we want to focus on education and spreading the word. So we want to collaborate with universities, collaborate with maybe even schools in the future, and also in general in the community to help each other to deepen our knowledge and understanding of technology. And last but not least, well, we want to form that strong community that works together on AI height that I've just mentioned already, and want to collaborate across different associations. To make this a little bit more precise, let's have a look at the things we did in the past during the last 3 years of Alaska's existence. So, first of all, we have established a set of tools and mechanisms in order to, educate the outside world or help also educate them about different technologies jointly, about different initiatives that we push forward. So what you see here is a small selection of the formats that, are well established during the last months or have been well established. First of all, the Alaska Tech Talks, for example, each and every month. There is a talk that is published also via YouTube, that is streamed live or provided live each and every last Friday of a month. If you're interested in also contributing to that, let us know and contact us if you have some interesting initiative, some interesting project, something to talk about in the domain of Alaska. Apart from this, there's Alaska Summit, obviously. It's the second time now here in Dresden. And apart from this, we do different discussion rounds, roundtables, also together with politicians, and different initiatives to really spread the word also in other dimensions, not just in the tech community, but also to use our fundament that we have as an open source foundation, and then make a little bit lobbyistic work towards politicians and the politics in general to convince them that the things we are talking about are really relevant and really matter. Apart from this, there are some interesting, nice future ideas. For example, that we want to improve the overall documentation of the existing Alaska tools. There's already quite some work going on in this context, driven, for example, by our Focus project that I will present in a few moments. And also, potentially, it would be great to have also certifications for the technology that we are working on. These are, future perspective, future topics that we may want to address. Apart from this, I want to briefly talk about the importance of collaboration that I've already sketched as one of the 3 essential domains in which Alaska is active. So I think we all agree that, it doesn't make sense to create a new association, a new foundation like Alaska, and just say, this is the stuff that we address and this is the topic that we talk about, and then, acting as if there's no world around that and no other initiatives are doing similar things. So we definitely want to integrate with existing initiatives nationally and internationally, and want to build a community that spans upon these different initiatives, and that is not just looking at the own scope, the own domain, but that really interacts with a broad spectrum of different other communities and different other initiatives. So most prominently, I've listed some here, like the Open Infra Foundation, the Cloud Native Computing Foundation, the Linux Foundation, and also the Sovereign Cloud Stacks. These are solid examples for our day-to-day collaboration and where we do things together. We have just been, for example, on the Open Infra Summit in Paris, also have presented Alaska there, talked about Alaska, and advertised our overall topics. Apart from this, also there's a strong collaboration with the Sovereign Cloud Stack, with the SCS, where we also join forces in order, to bring also the communities together. And from both sides, from the SCS side as well as the Alaska side, there's a huge overlap in interests and technology and competency and so on. So that's definitely also worth pushing forward. What is absolutely core in this community, and I'm looking on this also always with a critical eye, is the aspect that we should not have superficial discussions about technology. So I think a lot of you know the discussion which, well, Kubernetes bare metal approach, for example, to take a prominent example, is the best one. If it's this or that or whatsoever. In the end, we should understand that these are, well, all different colors of, technology that is in the background, and overall goals, on the other hand, that are always the same in this community. So we should avoid to somehow create conflicts in this community. We should avoid to waste time with such superficial discussions about this or that Kubernetes distribution or Kubernetes bare metal installation and whatever technology you may think about, where there may be, well, one or another approach in this domain, but we should talk about the fundamental technology, about competency, about the people in the background, and we should really push that overall jointly together forward and, well, should not waste our time with these superficial things, actually. Yeah, how did Alaska start a couple of years ago? Well, it started with a collaboration between Stackit and Cloud and Heat, where Yaook had been invented as a, well, new lifecycle management tool for OpenStack. And then suddenly, well, further people came to that context as well, such as, for example, Secunet or Cyberus, to also name some of the founding members of Alaska. And apart from this, D3TN and DNation, who, well, was the only non-German company who joined with us in the initial setup. And we quickly designed that overall setup, that association, sort of startup-like. So where we said, well, what are the issues that we have to address currently, and what do we have to do in order to, for example, set up an overall development community for Yaook to, well, have some tools available to talk also about legal aspects and so on. What do we have to organize in this context in order to push forward the development of Yaook? And suddenly, well, further tools were there. So very prominently as well, Jake came by the 23 Technologies, for example, and other, well, companies also joined, and Alaska was growing step by step. If we, well, have a look at Alaska now, just after 3 years of existence, well, we have developed a very professional structure from a startup-like, beginning to well, something that is a sort of SME, let's say, where things are still chaotic and things are, well, grown or have been grown during the last months in an organical manner. So there may be still things that are, well, not perfect and that are not absolutely perfectly organized. However, we have clear structures set up. We have a lot of additional, well, resources created, like our, well, nice advertisement screens that you see in the back and other stuff. So, yeah, different types of tools have been aggregated in the association, and very specifically also, well, we have increased the overall team of Alaska. And I want to very briefly introduce, well, two different components made up by real humans pushing forward jointly with the board Alaska, which on one hand is the TSC, the Technical Steering Committee, and on the other hand, the Focus Project. So the TSC, the Technical Steering Committee, is an organization within Alaska that is responsible for, well, screening and monitoring the overall conformance of the projects within the association, and on the other hand, to also discuss if a project should be onboarded or if it should be rejected, or maybe, well, some additional aspects around these projects. This TSC is made up by Josephine Seifert, by Christian Behrendt, by Marcel Bayer, Matthias Haag, and Martin Messer. Maybe you five can briefly stand up so that your faces are also seen here. Christian over there, Martin here on the left, here Matthias, and also there is Marcel and there is Josephine. Yeah, maybe applause to them. I mean, what you always have to see as well, they do it in their spare time, yeah, so pushing forward with us jointly Alaska. And this is also an experiment to start with such a structure, define a TSC, define, well, the task for the TSC, then, well, elect people, and then, well, it's really a sort of wonder that it really works out. So they meet in regular intervals. They have sound discussions about the projects and so on. So it's really nice to see how this has evolved during the last months. Apart from this, I want to, well, present also Focus. First of all, I want to say sorry to Matthias, but I didn't find a photo. Maybe we should change this today, where you all four are on one photo, actually. So this was the best I can find from the SCS Summit in Berlin a couple of weeks ago. Well, we can also let you briefly stand up, so I can go through your names also and present you to the others. So there's Friedrich, here's Daniel, and Helena is there, plus also, well, Matthias is on the screen, right? So maybe then maybe the virus won the battle. I didn't get some news from him. He wrote me yesterday that maybe he will be only here a couple of hours, but you should see him later on. So, apart from, well, these teams, I also want to point out that on the financial side, Alaska looks also quite nice at the moment. So not that we have, massive money that we can just spend for arbitrary stuff. Definitely we have to check for what we spend money. But it's really great to also see that, we can organize such events. We can, also invest into different tools, into infrastructure and so on, due to the members of Alaska, definitely, but also due to the sponsors of the Alaska Summit. So thanks very much also to the sponsors, specifically to the 3 gold sponsors, so secunet, Uhuru Tech, and Horizon, for, making this event possible, and also, the silver sponsors, the bronze sponsors, and the catering and event evening sponsors. So think a little bit about these names when you, bite into your cake or drink your coffee. They made all that possible, apart from the nice venue here. Thanks to the sponsors. I want to conclude with some basic facts about Alaska after I gave a very short overview of, where we came from and what the core idea behind Alaska is, and also after, introducing the TSC as well as the focus team briefly. So I just have selected a couple of facts here on that slide. First of all, we have now 6 projects under maintenance. Now, some of you who follow a little bit projects may think, there should be 5 after ARCO has been just accepted as well, so a monitoring tool that has been pushed forward by D-Nation and others. There is a 6th project actually that is driven forward by secunet and has been initially developed within secunet, and that has been recently open sourced. It's a joint project done by secunet, Cyberus, and D3TN, a sort of minimal infrastructure as a service layer that can be used in order to start virtual machines and connect them and also add some block storage into these machines. So it's a quite nice small tool, written in Rust, by the way, for those who may be interesting. That just is the 6th project now that Alaska will be responsible for. In comparison, we just had 3 projects during the last summit. So, increased by 100% for those who are interested in such nice statistics. Then apart from this, 4 people are employed in Alaska now, 0 last year. We have organized so far 30 tech talks, 20 last year, and really nice 200 participants at the Alaska Summit. Last year we had 100, so actually we had 210 registrations. I had to stop because the room, may be an issue then. So 200 people. And apart from this, so the last point is the most important one. So this will be definitely the best summit ever, the best Alaska Summit ever. So 2024 was already nice. Let's make 2025 even far greater. If you are interested in, joining the next summit, keep this date in mind, definitely. It's easy to remember because it's also the 3rd and 4th of November, 2026. So, maybe you already marked this in your calendar. We will provide details later on. If you are interested in, becoming a member, if you are not yet, then, you may think about it during the summit. And if you are interested in, contributing some open source project as well to the foundation, get into the discussion with the TSC, with the technical steering committee, and try to convince them if this is a good and fitting project in general. So thank you very much for your attention and for giving me a short overview of Alaska itself. I tried to provide a short mixture of, the history and the current state to onboard you all to that event and, get you on Alaska speed. Thanks for attention.